Well, the World Health Organization's a little bit different. I mean, someone in China, and I'm not saying this happened for certain, but it seems to be the MO around the world that China gets all these contracts and they get all the infrastructure contracts and they get all the rare earth minerals because someone's showing up with a briefcase of cash. Yeah. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. I mean, Jim Jordan, you've seen obviously in Congress what Americans companies have to do to remain compliant, to make sure we're not violating any of those laws. And by the way, for good reason. But how does America stay competitive when China can say, oh yeah, whatever, there are no laws. This is the decision maker in this, banana republic, and we'll go there and congratulations. Here's a couple of bucks in the briefcase, and now they won the mineral rights for the next 3,000 years. Whether it's cobalt, whether it's oil, I mean, these guys are doing it all over the world, and we're sitting here like morons just watching for it to happen because, if someone their assistant puts a comma in the wrong spot, you're going to jail for 30 years. Talk about it a little bit, because that kind of bureaucracy, and again, if there's one thing that Donald Trump has shown me during the pandemic is that his platform in 2016 of finally saying guys, enough is enough. He's been more right now that we know what happened than ever before.
He sure has. And he was the first president to take on China, and God bless him for doing that. First thing I would do is Congress should be back in session. We talked about that earlier. But the Oversight Committee should be having hearings about the World Health Organization. I got a colleague who says it best. We shouldn't have to pay organizations that hate us. They'll probably do it for free, right? So why in the world are we giving the hard-earned tax dollars to the World Health Organization, and then they come out and shill for China and lie to us? I would bring them in, and then I would say, what did this money go for? What are you doing? And then get to your issue. Why in the world are you shilling for China? Why in the world are you lying to the American people who gave you the most of the money that they have? That we're the biggest contributor to the World Health Organization. So that is priority number one. Why shouldn't we be having hearings on that subject, letting the American people know exactly what took place at that organization, which is a front group and running interference for China? But you're exactly right. The president was the first one to stand up to these guys, and we got to continue to do it and bring that manufacturing back to the United States.
Well, 100%. And my father was right about that. And I'm glad to see, there's going to be some inquiries as well, because, beyond just honestly the pandemic, I mean, we've seen the response. We've seen what the World Health Organization did. We then saw what the media tried to spin it when Donald Trump shut down travel in January. Late January, he shut down travel from Wuhan. Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Trump is racist. It's too premature. It's too aggressive. In February, they're saying, come to Chinatown. Let's all have mass gatherings. There's nothing wrong here. And now, a few weeks later, they're saying Trump was slow to the gun. I'm saying, wait a minute. You were encouraging mass gatherings. You're saying his response, which probably slowed the spread, flattened the curve, better than anyone. That's racist, and the media just runs with it like, oh, yeah, sure, those are the DNC talking points. We work for the DNC, therefore it must be true. But you bring up a really good point, Jim. It's not just, COVID-19 or the Wuhan China flu. How many professors have been arrested at Harvard in the last year? Who are taking money from the Chinese government while researching with American grant dollars, trying to get, whether it's technology, whether it's biotech, whatever it may be. I mean, how many of these professors have been caught literally spying for the Chinese government from our biggest institutions of higher learning, many of whom are funded by...
We will make America great again.